So all that
Is
to
he
say that
nervous?
the dating apps work.
Dating apps did work.
They work.
But here's
Hi everyone! Welcome back to Like the Queens. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Victoria. And we're
this
here with
is our special guest.
Hi. I didn't know how soon you wanted me to talk.
No, this is perfect. This is Claire, guys. We mentioned her in our last episode. We're so happy to have her on the Zoom call with us.
Hello,
Claire
I'm Claire.
is one of... Sorry, you keep cutting out until it's hard.
Hi, I'm Claire. I was mentioned in the last episode. When I listened to it and I heard what was being said about me, I screamed. But I'm here. Liz and I were college roomies and besties.
We met because you were my Big for Blue mask, and
I handpicked you.
You did. We were friends from the beginning, but we didn't get super duper close until we were roomies, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like we were friends, and then I was moving off campus, and you were like, I want to move off campus, and so we were like, okay, I mean, we're friends, let's live together, and then we were truly besties for the resties.
Best friends forever. And then this summer, y'all know how I met Victoria, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Victoria and Claire would be best friends as well.
Yeah, and I said, oh, she's making another thick brunette friend who's funny. I'm being replaced.
Never
being replaced. Just
no, but now I'm
into
actually
the
no, truly, because now I'm like, oh, well, now I'm going to be besties with Victoria, so.
Now y'all live in the same state, so.
I know.
We do. We're truly 40 minutes away from each other right now.
Yeah, it's actually incredible.
I'm so jealous.
And we're going to meet in person this week. Next week. Next week.
Yeah,
literally
because
a week
I
from
never
today.
responded. We were supposed to hang out this week, and then I simply did not ever respond.
Y'all keep freezing. No, because my internet connection is unstable. I didn't hear that. What did you all say?
We said we're gonna meet in person next week. We were supposed to hang out this week, and then I simply never responded to the message. And never set up a plan.
But it's okay.
Literally what happened was that I was like, let me check my work schedule. And then my work schedule filled up because a girl needs money. And then I said, Claire, remember, you need to message Victoria back. You need to message her back. And then all of a sudden it's Thursday. And I said, oh my God, I never messaged her. But we're going to hang out next Thursday.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
I'm actually very excited.
I'm so excited too. I haven't been to Disney since I've been back. So,
oh my God.
And to go with a new friend.
Studios in a while.
Yeah.
That's your favorite,
I
too.
work for the Rat. I should probably say that. That probably would make more sense.
You should say that.
Yeah.
I work for a certain theme park.
And you love it.
Close to home.
I do love it a lot.
Me
That's
too.
I'm
awesome.
nervous. Okay.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know. I hope your podcast fans like me.
Claire, no, you're iconic. Your vagina song is iconic.
It's true.
I don't think
Stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned.
I'm not giving that one away this fast. We are
okay.
We're 4.5 minutes in.
Okay, no, that's great. I just want to make a quick note that yes, I am in my bathroom, but it's because I have really bad unstable internet connection. So that's my sports bra, that's my toilet paper, and this is my toilet.
Great.
Amazing.
Victoria, what did you want to tell us?
Oh, okay. So this is a whole new topic, but let's just jump right into it. So as we know, I'm on the dating app scene and I'm trying to schedule dates. So after the first couple of messages on dating apps, you usually ask for their number or their Snapchat or something so you can chat off of this dating app. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts are is when you ask for a guy's number and they don't have an iPhone and it sends green.
I hate it.
For me, that drives me bonkers. And I'm and it's it shouldn't be a red flag. But it kind of is.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It's not a red flag. It's like a yellow flag where it's like you don't
Here's
like it, but
okay.
it's not a deal breaker.
The yellow flag is like you don't like it, but like we get it. iPhones are expensive. The red flag is if he has one by choice because he's like, I hate Apple.
That's
Mm,
true. That's
that's
true.
a good
You
point.
know? Like
I
if he
don't.
like I get it, it's hard out here. Buy the phone you can afford. But
Right.
if you're like one of those guys who's like Androids are just better, like you're lying.
Yeah, like you're lying. And I have gotten just today, I literally have gotten 3 guys' numbers and they all have Android devices. And I'm like,
No.
what twilight zone am I in? Why is this happening to me?
That's so unfortunate for you.
And
I'm so
they
sorry.
seemed like sweet people, but for some reason I'm like, there's something off about you. Something off.
Let me tell you something about Android users, like meeting these guys on dating apps. So the most guys that I've blocked from like dating apps have been Android users over the iPhone users.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, any photos that they take of you guys, they're gonna be bad, and we can't be having that.
No. We have
That's
to have a good
true.
Instagram game.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Instagram, Claire, do you want to tell them?
About what? About my Instagram?
You taking over our social media.
Okay, well, I didn't know because we didn't actually talk about it. Okay, so first of all, the reason I'm on this podcast is because one day, literally after I watched like the first episode, I said, if you ever want a guest, I'll do it. And then, so I just kind of said, I'm on your podcast now as a guest. I'm not going to be here all the time. I'm so sorry to disappoint. And then I also texted Liz the other day and I said, by the way, if you want someone to like run your socials, that's a thing I love to do. So basically, I'm just making myself involved in any way I can, whether they want it or not.
We
love
want
it.
That's amazing. Social media is definitely not my thing. It's more
No, I love Instagram especially, but like social media, I just have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And so I was
I
like,
love that.
so keep your eyes peeled for that.
And I feel like I need help because, like, I'm trying with our social media, but I don't think, like, what I'm doing is working.
And
like,
it's
that's something
definitely
Victoria
hard to grow from nothing, but we'll make a game plan.
I love that. Look at us go.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Amazing.
So Claire is an official member of our team now.
Woo!
I like the Queen's team. Woo!
Which
is there a
so
Queen Claire?
exciting.
Queen Claire. If there's not a Queen Claire, we just made one.
There's got to be a princess somewhere named
Somewhere.
Yeah. We'll find it. We'll find it.
Okay. Okay.
And that'll be like the start of our merch. All the different queens.
It'll be like the Queens and Claire.
I love that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
One thing, Claire, I wanted like to talk about with you specifically on this podcast is about how you met. Am I allowed to say his name, or does he not want his name mentioned at all?
He was just being dramatic. You can say it.
Okay. How you met Caleb, because Victoria and I talk about all the time on the podcast about dating apps, how we meet guys, doing all that, and I know, like, you know this about me, like when I like went through my breakup, I was very like iffy about getting on the dating apps as well, and you were the one who really helped me get into that, which we can talk more about that later. But I want you to tell everyone how being on dating apps worked for you and that story, like from the very beginning.
Of course. So where to even begin? So like everyone, I mean, I guess not like everyone, but I jumped on some dating apps, freshman year of college. Back then it was like 2016, so I feel like Hinge and Bumble were like coming onto the scene, but really I'd only ever like heard of Tinder. So I downloaded Tinder. And swiping, I wasn't really looking for anything in particular. Like, obviously, like, you want a boyfriend, but like, I was like, what else? Let's just see what's out there. We went to school on a really small campus. I was like, let me see some other men. Or like maybe some men I just don't see on campus.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened. I went on one date with a guy from campus. Liz, do you even know this? That I went on a date with.
No.
Oh, spell.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know, like, if you want to cut last names or whatever, but did you?
That name is so familiar.
He was like the SGA president, and he's a Republican. Anyway,
Okay.
that's a red flag. We matched and we went on a date, but like, first of all, okay, I'm getting so sidetracked, but the date was awful because he was like, let's go get coffee, and I'm like, okay, amazing. And we had so many cute coffee shops in our college town. No, he wanted to meet at the Starbucks on campus. And when I got there, he'd already ordered his drink. So I had to just like buy my own coffee. And then we didn't even sit in the cafe. He took me to like the SGA meeting room. And we just talked awkwardly about like theater. And he was just like not into it at all. And I said, have a good night.
I would just like to tell everyone about our college town's coffee places. We have Mean Mug, which is run by this wonderful Hispanic lady with his wonderful Hispanic coffees. Amazing.
Such good coffee.
Such good coffee. And then we have Coco Java,
which is just the vibe.
It's the vibe.
They
it's
have
the
so
first
many
date
comfy
vibe.
couches. They have great lighting. Like, it's like busy enough that if you're on a date, like, it's not awkwardly silent, but it's not like so loud, like you can hear each other. No, he wanted to go to not even like the Starbucks on campus, the like campus cafe with the like we proudly serve Starbucks. Like, you can't use the app there.
Like, that was
No.
how are you
It's
supposed
your
to get
own
your
money.
points?
Truly, I said, what am I gonna do with all my stars? So, that was that. So not a great start to the app game. So I understand the struggle of apps.
Right.
And then I never really met up with anyone. So spring of 2017 rolls around, and I matched with Caleb. He had a picture with a guitar, and I was like, that's hot. I'll swipe right. And we like talked a little bit, and like a year or so in, we reactivated our accounts because I swear he messaged me first. But lo and behold, I messaged him first. I said, hey, smiley face. Such a smooth intro line.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I remember that my bio said, I'm bringing back Crocs, which is true because Crocs are all the rage again. So I'd like to give myself a little pat on the back.
Good job. My chair's right over there.
Yeah, he said something about how Crocs were like gross, and I said, "Oh, so we're never gonna be together." So we messaged a little. We got each other's Snapchats, and at the time, I was assistant stage managing a play on campus, and so I was like, "Come see the play, and we can like grab a bite to eat after." And he was like, "Okay," and then I vividly remember sitting backstage like with the headset on, and it was like me, Brant, and like Donato on headset, and so I was like telling them about this guy, and then he texts me in the middle of this like tech run, which I should have been paying attention because I was ASMing, but like who cares?
You're fine.
And I'm on the headset and I go, ew. And they go, what? And I go, he just said that he would draw a picture of my horse, which is like really, really sweet. Caleb's a graphic designer. He's a very good artist.
Okay.
Which is like sweet, but when I didn't know him, I was like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I was just kind of like, that's really forward. And I was like, and so basically I like canceled the date. I was like, don't come to the play. I was like, I tried to play it off by like, that's just like kind of an awkward, like, I don't want to make you sit through a play, like, blah, blah, blah. But in my head, I was like, I just don't want to meet up with this guy. I'm just really not that interested after all.
Yeah.
And then he also, I make fun of him for this all the time. Tell me if I'm rambling too much too.
No, you're good. Tell the story.
I remember at one point, like during our early texting, he was like, by the way, you don't have to text me back right away. And I was like, I know.
Caleb.
You're like, I'm aware.
Yeah, I said, correct. So anyway, so I like canceled the date, and he was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can do something like the next day. And I'm like, how do I get the hint? I don't want to go on this date with you.
Right.
But I just go, whatever, like, I'll just go. So we make a plan to walk around downtown and like get Italian for dinner at Il Colesso. So good. They have
Very
the best
good.
bread and the best ranch. I like to dip the bread in the ranch. Um, so date rolls around. So yeah, that's like how I met him. We went on a date and it was like really, really good. It was like a 6 hour long date. Like we just kept hopping from one thing to the next. After dinner, we like sat in his car and just talked a while. And then he came back to my dorm because my roommate freshman year would like go home every weekend, so no one was there. And we didn't like do anything, but we just like sat on my bed and like watched stand up comedy. And it was just like a lot of fun. And then the next day I went on spring break, actually came down to Disney. And then, a week goes by, I go back home to Maryland, then I make the drive back down to North Carolina, and I went back like a night early because I was like, I'm gonna ask him to come stay the night. And he did. He came and stayed the night. And then the next day I was like, okay, Claire, if he doesn't ask you to be his girlfriend by the end of the day, like you're gonna ask him. You're just gonna be like, we're dating now. And then he did ask me
We
in
love
like
a confident woman.
I know. He did end up asking me. So, mind you, we've only known each other in person for a total of 3 days by this point, and he goes, ugh, I hate how he asked. I hate this story so much. He goes, so am I like Facebook material? And I was just like, I literally looked at him and I was like, I mean, yeah.
You're like, I guess so.
So I was gonna be smooth and be like, all my friends are asking if you're my boyfriend. Can I say yes? Like, wouldn't that have been so smooth? But then he just went and asked if
That would have
he
been
was
cute.
Facebook material. But I love him. So, all of that long winded story to say that we met on Tinder and now it has been almost 5 years.
And
And we just got engaged last month. It's been like 3.5 weeks. If you're watching the video, here's the ring.
Yes,
look at that
it's
I
beauty.
picked mine out.
stunning.
I literally sent a link. I said, this is my ring. And then we went to K Jewelers and I got sized and then he ordered it in the parking lot.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
We're
He was
very
ready.
non-traditional. We don't really have any boundaries.
I want to say about your engagement. I don't know if Charlie Beth told you or whatnot, but like he messaged Charlie Beth on Instagram and he was like, I'm gonna propose to Claire at Magic Kingdom on Saturday. And like told her the spot and everything. And so this whole time when like you texted me and you were like, I think Caleb's gonna propose. I'm like, haha, she thinks Caleb's gonna propose today, but he's actually proposing on Saturday at Magic Kingdom. But then he actually proposed to you that day when you thought he was. And so we were all like, oh my gosh, we were all surprised because we didn't know he was doing it on that day.
That's so funny. I have such good instinct.
You do. I was going to be like, because you were like, I think I should wear this. I should wear that. I was like, oh, maybe you should wear that, like, I don't know.
It's true. She was like, Victoria, how do I tell her, like, nonchalantly that, like, she shouldn't wear that today? I was like,
that's
I don't
so
know.
funny.
But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad you wore the outfit you wanted to wear for your engagement.
Besties, if you're listening, I had this like gingham maxi dress, and then we went to Hollywood Studios, so I have this black shirt with like all of the Skywalker family's lightsabers on it, and I like put that over the dress and then tied it up in a knot. It was very cute.
It was
very cute.
It was a look. So all that to
Was
say
he
that
nervous?
the dating apps work.
The dating apps did work.
They work.
But here's the thing, though, is that nowadays I would say never meet a man on Tinder because it sounds like Hinge and Bumble are the way to go, and that Tinder is like the hookup app now. And so, like, when I tell people I met Caleb on Tinder, they're always like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Personally, like Victoria knows this, I like Bumble a whole lot better than all the other apps. I've only gone out with one guy from Tinder, and Claire, you were there for that, the Italian stallion.
Oh my god, not the Italian. That was so much drama.
That was so much drama. Y'all, this was my first time like going out with a guy since my long-term relationship ended. And so I had no idea that sometimes guys just want to go out with you to get in your pants. This was my first experience with that. This was the first guy I had gone out with after being in a loving, committed relationship.
Yeah, and when we tried to tell her that, she was like, no.
Oh.
And then I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah." That's
That's
exactly what he
okay.
wanted.
Yeah, but dating apps can work. It's really just a matter. I mean, it's just like if you're just doing life, like not on the dating apps, right person, right time. It really just depends.
It's true. It's all about
And
timing
I
and like
always
where
told
you are.
people, because Liz, like, I used to tell Molly too, I was like, you need to go on dates with the guys that you like maybe weren't gonna swipe right on. Because the guys that you're like, oh, he's so hot, it's unattainable, it's unrealistic, they're gonna let you down. The guys who you're like, he's kind of cute, sure, whatever, I'll swipe right. They're like the normal, funny guys.
This is
Yeah,
very
that's
true.
some good advice.
Like, Caleb's
That's some
not like
really
the
good
hottest man in the
advice.
world, but like, he's hot to me, obviously. But like, it was truly like oh, he plays guitar, sure, I'll swipe right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Aww.
I love that.
Aww.
Yeah.
I have
That's
yet
so
to have my
sweet.
fairy tale moment from dating apps, but I'm having a good time, so I guess you win some.
Honestly,
I don't think I'm ready for my fairy tale moment quite yet.
that is fine.
No.
Sometimes it's always like the grass is greener because like Liz knows, like I struggled a lot in college with like I'm missing out on the dating culture, the like party hookup culture, and I like resented that almost. And like I really struggled with that because then I was like, but why do I even want to do that when I have this amazing relationship? So it's just that thing of like you want what you can't have.
Yeah,
But like
I
I
agree.
wouldn't trade this for the world. Like obviously being
Yeah.
with Caleb is like better than random hookups like a million times over. But in the moment when you're like drunk at a party, you're like, I just want to like go home with
I feel that. I actually have probably said those words before.
someone.
That's funny. I was in the same boat as Claire in college because I was with someone pretty much my entire time of college.
Mhm.
I was with my high school sweetheart until I'd say like January freshman year, and then March I started dating my March of freshman year the guy who I was with for 3 years, and then we broke up during the pandemic this past year.
Mhm.
So I literally was in a relationship my entire time of college, and that's the biggest thing I regret. Obviously, because my stuff didn't work out, but like for you, Claire,
Right.
you're
Yeah, no.
yeah,
Like
you're
if mine didn't work out either, I'd be like, yeah, that was like it all is relative.
yeah, yeah,
It's true.
But it's not like that's the great thing I feel like about now is like in the past it was like, yeah, if you didn't meet someone in college, it was going to be really hard to find someone. But now that we have like dating apps and like women are more free to just like go out and have various kinds of like jobs, I feel like it's so much easier to meet someone post grad now than it
yeah,
used to be.
I agree. I just feel like there's less pressure on
Yeah.
everybody nowadays, and it's like, the whole stigma of like you as females, there was a lot of pressure on like don't go out, the whole like don't sleep around and all that jazz. But I feel like now that dating apps are becoming more used and there's so many more now instead of just like the Tinder thing, I feel like it's becoming more normal.
Yeah,
So I think that's
for
I'm
good.
sure.
I'm really glad you brought that up, Victoria, because I forgot I wanted to tell you something about like normalizing that. Like me personally, like it's just a personal choice. I don't judge any other woman who or any person who makes that choice to like sleep with one or 100 people. I don't care what you do. But for me, like that's not what I like. That's just not me. Like I'm fine without that. And I told
Yeah.
this guy who I went out on a date with. He was like, I really want to sleep with you. And I said, that's so kind, but I don't want to sleep with you.
Also, like, why would
And
you lead, like, that's how you lead the conversation. Like,
That's what I was about to
well,
say.
it
I was
was
just holding in laughter because I'm like, how brazen to just be like, I want to sleep with you.
yeah, like,
yeah, he
what
did.
inspired that?
It was the French man.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, I really like want to sleep with you, and I'm like, I don't want a friends with benefit situation. I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I don't sleep around. Like, I don't care that you do or like other people if that's their decision. But like personally, it's not what I want to do.
Right.
And he goes, oh, I find that so attractive. He goes, I would never date a hoe. I'm like, you were just trying to get me to sleep with you, and then you just trashed every woman who chooses to be like more sexual.
Yeah, I'm literally offended.
That's trash behavior. He was just mad that
Isn't
you
that
said
trash
no.
behavior? Like, isn't that rude?
He was mad you said no, so he tried to spin it in a way that made you be like, oh, so he is respectful? Maybe I will.
Yeah,
He
that's
Yeah.
was just like,
exactly what he did.
he was throwing darts and hoping something would land.
And
I
it
didn't go
didn't.
out with him again. No.
Truly did not. Not the way, sir. Mr.
I'm
Frenchman,
like,
my message for you is change your tactics.
yeah. I'm like, I'm a feminist, and that was not very feminist of you.
No.
It was so
Ugh,
rude.
yeah. Some men on these dating apps are just weird too. Like, I told Liz a little bit about this, but this is also going to get very PG-13 very quickly in this moment. So this guy who I matched with on Bumble, I think, I on Bumble you have to message the first message if you're a girl. So
Mhm.
I message him and I'm just like, "Hi, I think you're really cute." Nice classic message, period. And the first thing he says to me is, "Hey, like I just want to eat you out." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, and obviously, like, I didn't respond to that because I was like, okay, that's not really my vibe. Like, it could have been, but he, like, pushed, like, he
Not
didn't say
that.
hi. Like, he didn't even say hi. And so, like, then he kept messaging and he was like, please, like, that's all I want to do. And I messaged him and I was like, that's just not for me, but thank you. Thank you, I guess. Thank you, I guess.
Yeah.
And I unmatched with him from there, but it's statements like that. It's those opening lines. And am really curious. This kind of goes back to like our dick pic episode where it's like, if you're a female out there and, they open with a line of like, hey, I want to eat you out, or like, hey, let's go have sex. Like, who's that working on? Who's it
Okay,
working on?
Caleb and I
It's not.
we were just having this discussion because, and I'm gonna, so his cousin is here visiting, and I'm gonna out him a little bit. He's on the dating apps, and it's so much fun to swipe. Like, it's addicting.
It
So
is,
every
that's
day I've
true.
been like, can I swipe for you? And like, some of the things he'd be messaging, like, there was this one conversation, and I was like, this is not working for you. And he wasn't saying anything outright like that, like, just
Yeah,
rude and gross, but it was like definitely like sexually flirtatious things that she clearly was not like reciprocating. Like, she was just being like, oh
right,
yeah, haha. And I'm like, do
right.
you not like see though that that it's not
She's
working?
not.
And he's like,
Mm-mm.
and I'm not even like saying this to knock him. But he's genuinely like, well, then why is she responding? And I was like, because she wants to see if you'll start just having a normal conversation, and
Right,
you're not.
right.
And that's why now it's been a few days and she hasn't. Like, I just think that men, like, their brains don't work like ours.
They
I
just don't work.
completely understand. I feel that. Like, I feel like if I was messaging, I mean, I just feel like females' brains are so ahead of the time. They are. That's
Yeah.
just a fact.
I
And
had this one guy on Tinder just message me, "You're hot." That's it, just "you're hot," and I'm like, okay,
Okay.
you're like, I actually
and
am aware. Thank you. Um, yeah.
like, can you
Yeah.
say something else?
I feel like men they've gotten so used to doing the bare minimum that, like, when they're nice to you, they expect you to be like, "Oh my God, I'm marrying you."
This is
When
very
really it's
true.
like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I saw a TikTok the other day, actually, and I don't even know who it was. It was on like my For You page, and it was this guy, and it was like, men, listen up. All you have to do for your girl is buy her a little cactus and maybe a card, dude, and she's yours forever. Girls are so easy these days. You just have to be nice. And I couldn't tell if it was like satire or like this man was just like being genuine about that, but I was like, why? And like the comments were like, why is this so true? Like, why are our standards so low? And I was like, no, not these women. Not a
no,
cactus
that's
making them happy.
true.
I mean, I like cactuses, so I might be one of those women.
All
Liz is
I'm
like,
saying is
wait,
if
I don't
you've come,
understand what's wrong.
oh my gosh, if a man brought me a plant, I would be so happy.
I mean, same, but they've got to do more than that.
like that,
Oh,
they
yeah.
think that's gonna fix everything. They're like,
Right, right,
No.
after a
right.
fight, you just like get a
There was one
plant.
time, I won't even go into it because it'll just add another hour onto this, but the one time I've been the most furious at Caleb, he just like showed up with flowers. And like to be fair though, it did help. But I was also like, we need to actually talk about this too while I stare at my pretty flowers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been recording and doing this, but I want you to tell my favorite Caleb story.
Yeah. So earlier when we jumped on this Zoom before we started like actually recording was like, I need you to tell the story, and I knew instantly which one it was. So let me jump right in. So I don't even remember when this was. Maybe like 2 or 3 years into dating. Um, maybe like 2.5. I'm trying to think of like
This was,
where he was living at this time. Let's just say
I
two
think
and
this
like
was your junior year of college, my sophomore year.
yeah, so about 2.5, 3 years. So I worked at this little cafe in our college town that had really good gelato. And obviously, I would eat it throughout my shift. And one night we had the chocolate Oreo gelato, which is like the best kind because it's chocolate gelato with Oreo pieces. I'm a big chocolate gal. So I was eating quite a bit of it. And I was going over to his place after work to like stay the night. It was like a Friday night or something. And so I go over, you know, normal type thing. We probably got food. We're like chilling, watching a movie. Things start getting a little hot and heavy as they tend to do. When, you love somebody. And how crass can I be on this
Just be
podcast?
crass.
I
Be
mean, I
crass.
just
We'll
talked
give it a
about a guy
warning.
wanting to truly eat me out, so I think that you're good.
Okay, so I start, going down on him, doing a little suck,
Yeah.
and and everything is going well. It is going dandy. Everyone is enjoying themselves. It's pretty great. And then my mistake is that I get cocky. No pun intended. And I say, "Oh, I'm gonna deep throat. It's happening. I'm gonna do it." So down I go into the
Right.
depths.
Right.
Well, here comes Miss Chocolate Oreo Gelato making a round two appearance. So I go all the way down, and then I instantly go, whoop, and I come all the way up, and I put my hand over my mouth, and and Caleb has like, it was like maybe a king, probably a queen size bed, but I was on like the far side of it, and it was like against the wall. And I go, and I like have my hand over my mouth and I'm panicking trying to get off the bed and go to the bathroom. And Caleb goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I just started laughing. Like I let out a laugh and this Oreo gelato vomit just spewed everywhere, all over his dingling, all over his tummy, all over the bed, so much. And then the worst part was, so he's like laying there in shock, and I'm just laughing so hard. But I'm also trying to get up to go get like a towel or something. But as I'm getting up, so he's laying on his back, and as I'm getting up, there's a huge chunk of Oreo cookie and sliding down his thigh. And I run back and I like push it back up. And then I run away to get the towel and it starts sliding back down again.
No.
I was trying to avoid getting it on the sheets. So anyway, eventually I got a towel. He
Crying.
went and like took a shower. He was so mad at me. And I was I was embarrassed, so I was trying to like play it off and like chuckle about it, and he was simply not having it. And I was like, fine, well then I'm gonna go home if you're gonna like make me feel worse about this. Like I already feel bad about it. Like stop making me feel worse. Like I'm
Right.
sorry, I didn't do it on purpose. And he's like, no, you can't drive home because you're upset, and that's not safe to drive when you're upset. And I'm like, fine, then I'm gonna go sleep in the living room. And he's like, no, you're not. And I go, then apologize for yelling at me. I simply did not mean to vomit on your cock.
Like,
Of
And
course.
long story short, he was like, listen, you have to understand why I am upset. You got Oreo gelato in my hole. And I don't know if it went in the hole. And so, anyway, long story short, that is like simply the funniest thing that's ever happened to me during sex,
That
and
is so
it was
iconic.
it was fine. It has not happened since. So
So what you're saying is that we're gonna have Oreo gelato at your wedding.
oh, I think we have to.
We have to.
And hot dogs.
And hot dogs. Okay.
Okay.
Of
Yeah,
course.
so that is my story that Liz just loves us so much that she needed me to tell.
It's my favorite story.
That's iconic. I wish I had a crazy story like that. I wish I
That's like
did.
my
I feel
only
like I
one,
should. I mean,
because like since we started dating so young, like I had a little experience beforehand, but not a ton. So like that's truly my craziest story.
Speaking
yeah.
of crazy stories, we actually got a crazy story in our email. And
Did.
not this episode, but next episode, we're gonna read it for everyone to hear.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And we also got a comment on our YouTube today. I haven't told. I don't know if I told you today, Victoria, on the phone or not, about a person who commented about what she sends to back to people who send unsolicited dick pics. And so the next episode, we're going to be sharing these stories that our listeners have sent us and told us.
Oh, how fun.
Perfect.
I love that.
Yeah, so if y'all want to send more, send more. Anyone who's listening or watching this, like, send as many as you want. Or any, like, Claire's. We will read them.
It's true. And we'll share some of our stories.
Liz,
oh, we have so many.
Can I tell the story from when we were living together? One of the stories from when we were living together. Or we can tell both.
Oh,
do you know the ones I'm thinking
Which
of?
one? When I was in the bathroom?
And that and another one.
Okay, share the bathroom one, because I know what you're talking about.
because I've been talking this whole time.
So, Claire and I are living together, and our apartment, like our bedrooms, her bedroom's like down the hallway a little bit, like against, like, down this way. I don't know how to explain it. Down like a little hallway.
They were on opposite ends of the apartment.
They were opposite ends. But my bathroom was right next to Claire's bedroom. Yeah. And it was Claire's 21st birthday, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was her 21st birthday. So she was celebrating hard, you know? We just came back from Go Burrito. We had margaritas. I was getting ready for bed, and I got up to go pee one last time before going to sleep. And I hear against the wall and, like, across my bathroom is boom, 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 boom.
Which is hilarious because my bed was not even on the shared wall.
No, it wasn't. That's just, like, how loud it was. And I was like, this is her birthday. She's getting it on. I'm not about to ruin this moment for her. So I left my pee in the toilet the entire night so I wouldn't disrupt her with my flushing.
Yeah, she didn't
went
flush
back to
so
bed,
and
then I didn't flush anything.
Wow.
Isn't that, like, so sweet? Like, what a good
That is
friend.
so sweet. Claire, I have a question for you. Do you think if she would have flushed, that your moment would have been ruined?
No, I think I would not have noticed in the slightest.
I agree with that.
You sat there smelling your pee all night for no reason.
I love that.
Liz, do you remember that time I didn't get my period for 2 months and you were like, we're gonna get through this?
Yes.
And then it came, like, right as we closed Bright Star. I was just stressed.
I remember you were, like, buying, like, pregnancy tests and all, and
because I didn't have a
Caleb's
period for 2 months.
I mean, that's spooky. That is spooky.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, and, like, like, my periods are very irregular anyway. But 2 months was a little extreme.
Yeah. My periods are, like, very regular, so the day it's, like, late, 1 day late, I will have a mental breakdown.
No, see, I don't understand that. Like, truly 2 months was, like, the tipping point of, like, maybe I should take a test. Whereas most people, like, 2 days after their period, they'd be like,
right.
Ah.
Right.
It's it's been 8 full weeks, and I'm like, maybe I should take a test.
You're like, maybe this could be happening.
I'm like, yeah, you probably should take a test. And so I literally made her go take one in the bathroom.
And Caleb is so supportive. She's like, we'll get through this, whatever you decide to do. Like, I'm here for you, blah, blah. And Caleb goes, Even if she is pregnant, she won't be long.
That's exactly what he said.
He's like, it's fine. No need to stress.
He said that. He's like, I'll pay for it. And I was like, Caleb, I looked at him and I was like, this is not your decision. This is Claire's decision. And I'm like, and you are not being very supportive.
I quite literally got my period the next day, so all is well.
She did. That was the one time Caleb and I almost killed each other.
There was some tension in that bathroom.
I can't hear you.
And Claire was just along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just peeing. Y'all are fighting.
I feel like we covered the dating app stories, which is what
we truly covered a lot.
To talk about. Dating apps.
We did cover a lot.
An Android user.
Liz, do you have any like stories from the week?
I do, but we have.
I was gonna say y'all do this.
I have to
special
leave.
episode.
Yeah, we do that special Friday night recap. I do have a couple stories, but I also have to leave because I have a date.
She's going on a date tonight.
I'm going on a date, and I still have to do my hair. I did my makeup, but I have to do my hair, so I'm gonna have to sign us off.
Okay.
Perfect.
Unfortunately,
well, we did it.
Amazing.
So
Wonderful.
We did it.
Oh, thanks for letting me be your first guest.
No, thank you for being our first guest.
Yeah, it was our pleasure to have you on the Zoom call with us.
Really, I had
It
much fun. I had so much fun.
And I think our listeners will genuinely enjoy your stories as well.
I think so.
I hope so. I think I have some pretty good ones. I think I'm a good storyteller.
You are.
I think you are too. I was very entertained because I haven't heard these stories before. I don't think.
Right, exactly. That's the other thing is I like so rarely make new friends that like telling these stories to fresh ears is so much fun for me. I love being in the spotlight.
It's amazing.
I love to be the center of attention.
Literally, me too.
I love to be the funny one. Like all eyes on me. So this has been truly great for my ego.
I agree.
Well, everyone, this has been fun. Claire, thanks for joining us, and welcome to the Like the Queens team.
Thank you.
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Victoria. And that's Claire.
I thought you were going to say like the Queen. Sorry.
Okay. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Claire.
Like the
Queen.
With my dress on, baby. That's just me. No, I'm not a supermodel. I still eat McDonald's, baby. That's just me. And the la lounge machine. Vagina. This is mine. This is mine vagina. Not yours, but my vagina.